just hard work, bro. You know what I mean? Just hard work and just be accountable. Be just accountability. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like a lot of people just aren't accountable to what they do and their actions and how they got to certain places. And it's like it's okay to be, you know what I mean? Like to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, you have to do better.
How's it going, guys? And welcome to another episode of Secrets of Silent Success. Today we have the one and only Zac Diles. How you doing this afternoon, brother?
Man, I can't complain, bro. I can't complain. Happy to be here. Happy to be here, man.
I appreciate you for being here. Let's jump right into it, all right?
Let's
So
do it.
you were drafted by my hometown team, the Houston Texans, back in 2007.
Yep.
Tell me about your journey to the NFL, the type of skills and things that you developed to be a professional athlete.
Whew, the journey was long. But it was also self-inflicted. So, you know what I mean? I went the junior college route, you know, out of high school. I did some things in high school that set myself back. You know, my junior year of high school, I was deemed academically ineligible.
Wow.
So when I preach to these kids, you know what I mean, the stuff that I've gone through, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like I was stupid. It was just I got lazy. You know what I mean? I got the big head, like they need me type attitude, right?
Yeah.
Until one day, you know, right before my junior year, like it's 4 games into the season. My brother and them just left to go. My brother's at Fresno State on football scholarship. I'm the big man on campus now. You know what I mean? And 4 games into the season, grades came out, and I was deemed academically ineligible. And it was my U.S. history teacher, bro. I tried to run a fast one on him, and he caught me up on it. And that changed my life, actually. You know what I mean? So he's actually my favorite teacher to this day because what he did, you know what I mean, the morals that he stood on and changed the grade up that I tried to finesse him with. You know what I mean? That changed the outlook of, you know, my life. I was like, okay, well, it doesn't matter who you are. You know what I mean? You still got to do these things. So went to junior college for 2 years at Fresno City. Still at that time, I was 14 when I started playing football. I was a freshman in high school. So it was just, I played because my older brother played, right? And throughout the years, just kept getting better and better. After Fresno City, was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to go to Kansas State, which was my dream school. It was weird coming from California, but a guy I went to high school with went to Kansas State. And I was watching him play, and it was different. You know what I mean? I'm used to Fresno State, Nevada, Boise State, schools like
West
that.
Coast.
You know what I mean? And coming from a small town, we didn't get the USCs, UCLAs to come into our town. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going to end up at Fresno State anyway. I see my boy over at Kansas State, and they were winning. They won Big 12. They beat Oklahoma 35-7. Big. I'm watching this. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I want to go there. Like, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
A few years later, I had the opportunity to go there, right? So I'm blessed. I was able to live out my dreams. And then still from there, just kept getting better and getting better. And then, you know, my senior year of college comes. I'm a starter. We got a new staff, new head coach over at Kansas State, Ron Prince. He brings in a guy named Raheem Morris for our defensive coordinator, and he changed our defense to a 4-3 Tampa 2. I'm a middle linebacker, so I was suited for that. And had a decent season. Next thing you know,
that stock going up.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm starting to get calls. Some guy from Ed, I'm like, me? Like, okay. And then, you know, the draft comes, and I was blessed to get drafted by the Texans, man, in the 7th round, which I didn't have a conversation with the Texans. I didn't really even know about the organization at that time in 2007. They were only 5 years old. So, you know, it's like Houston Texans, like, what? Like, and when they drafted me, they called me, and I picked it up, and I hung up on them because my agent called me at the same time. So I hung, click, what's up? And then as I'm talking to my agent on the phone, my boy's tapping me on the shoulder, looking up at the TV. I see my name going across the screen. I'm on the phone. Hey, what's up? Like, I was like, I just hung up on them. You know what I mean? I was like, are they gonna still want me? But yeah, man, it was a journey, but a lot of ups and downs, you know, a lot of self-inflicted wounds along the way that really didn't need to go through. But honestly, kind of glad that I did, because, you know, it just kind of just shaped and molded me into the person I am today.
Talking about those self-inflicted wounds, we'll go back to junior year of high school. You know, you had that wound, but you saw it as something to overcome, right? You didn't be like, oh, they're against me, and No, you was like, okay, this is a wake-up call. I need to work my way out of this. What do you think that mentality, mindset was to be like, hey, I need to work my way out of this?
It's just accountability. You know what I mean? It's like I tell that story to a lot of people. They're like, I would have been mad at my teeth that, like, why are you mad at him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so there was an assignment that I didn't turn in, right? Grades were coming out. I needed a C- in this man's class to have a 2.0 on the dot.
Yeah.
That's how much I wasn't doing, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to scale. I was already on academic probation from my sophomore year, so I'm already in the trenches. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to finesse him. I take that same packet from one of my friends did, erased his name off of it, put my name on it, turned it in.
Wow.
It was like, hey, I told you I did this, and the third.
Yeah.
Right? That was on a Monday. Friday comes. The grades are coming out on Friday. Everything is smooth. I'm feeling I got by. You feel me?
It's time to play. It's Friday night.
I'm walking into a rally. I get a tap on my shoulder. And I was like, hey, Mr. Rondell want to talk to you. I'm like, what? Like, all right. I go to his room. Mind you, I didn't know where my U.S. history book was for like 3 months. Like, that's how out of touch of reality I was. Yeah. I didn't even know where my book was at. I walk into his classroom. I look at my desk. There's a book sitting on it. All right, whatever. I walk over to it. I open it up. The packet that I turned in was in my book. Apparently I left my book in his classroom, and that exact packet was in my book with my name on it, blank as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at this. Like, what's up? What's up? He's like, I gotta change your grade. You know what I mean? From a C- to a D+. And when he did that, that put me down to a 187. And you know what I mean? But again, it was one of those things where it's like, damn, like, you know, I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying? I know internally I'm better than this. There was a lot going on at the time of my life. You know what I mean? It was a lot going on. And, you know, when that happened again, it was a wake-up call. Because at that point, I had dug myself such a hole that even if I wanted to get a scholarship somewhere, my overall GPA is like a 179, something like I have to get a perfect score in the SAT type. You know what I mean? So, but again, you just don't know what you don't know at the time. This is 2002, you know, young, you know, you just whatever. And but again, that was one of those things, just taking accountability. It was like, all right, well, I appreciate you for doing that, because if you had just let me slide, I'd probably go throughout life just thinking, because who I am and what I do, they're just gonna put me through. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that moment, and like I said, just taking accountability. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I mean, you weren't the one that didn't do the work. You weren't the one that left the book in here, and you found it. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those. Like, all right, cool. Like, here we go. Wake up, do better, be better. You know what I mean? So it's so like, so when I talk to him, I mean, I've been there, I've seen it. You know what I mean? And like I said, that made my journey a little bit tougher. But again, that's what molds.
But it builds the character.
It builds the character. It builds,
you
know, the work. The work. I had to work. It was just, I got lost in it. You feel me? Yeah. So I just had to get that back and keep it pushing.
Got you. So transitioning to in the NFL, right, towards the latter part of your career, not only are you in the NFL, I believe, with the Browns at the time, but you're also thinking and studying about real estate, right? What made you, so this is different, right? You already got a job and thinking about the next job, right? So the ideologies have changed. What made you want to go into real estate, and what made you, while you're still playing, to already be thinking about something else?
It was just, you know, NFL is not for long, you know what I mean? I was blessed to play 8 years. But, you know, second year I break my leg. So I have a rod in this leg, and my 6th year I tear my ankle up. So year 7 and 8, I'm still playing, but I'm not playing at the level I would want to play at, you know what I mean? Sure. So I'm like, you know, but I know I'm good enough to still be in the league and still, you know, collecting these checks, you know what I mean? Backing up, like, can I get that check? Thank you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but just knowing that the end was near, you know what I'm saying? Would love to say you could play 10, 11, 12, 13 years, but just, you know, that wasn't, I got tired of the process and my body was falling apart. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And just wanted to do something different. I'm from California, I was born in Texas, Abilene, Texas, but raised in California. My family's out here. I had spent 10 years on the road. Yeah. Real estate is something I knew I wanted to get into, and why not like tackle one of the toughest markets in the world, you know what I mean? Like LA, like I love me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I love me in put me anywhere, bro. I rock with me, you feel me? Like, I'll bet on myself all day, any day. So came out here and just started just grinding. But also, like you said, when I started doing real estate, it was off season after my 7th season, got into it, and then got a call from, you know, my agent was like, hey, the Browns want to bring you in for, you know, vet mini camp. I was like, oh, okay, well, I've already started this. Like, real estate, you know what I mean? but I knew how I got the opportunity to play for the Browns off of a Facebook message, bro. Like literally.
That's wild.
Like a former teammate of mine, but I'm doing real estate and learning the playbook at the same time in my hotel, because I'm still doing my courses for real estate. So I'm in here trying to do this and read this playbook at the same time in the hotel. Like, okay. But everything worked out, bro. It was like, you know, God works in mysterious ways, bro. Because when my agent called me, I was coming from that come to Jesus vacation. I'm at the airport, right? Just got my bags from baggage claim. I'm at my car, opening my door, and so my agent calls me. I'm literally gonna call him the next day to tell him I'm retiring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's Sunday. I'm gonna call him on Monday. I'm done. He calls me, yo, Browns gonna bring you. And I'm like, damn. Like I was gonna call you tomorrow and tell you I was gonna retire.
Yep.
And now this pop off. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So, you know, diving into the real estate, you're back out here in LA. You get the opportunity to be on VH1 Love and Listings, right? Tell me, how did that come about? How did you get casted for that? Talk to us about the show a little bit.
Whoo, man, Love and Listings, bro. That happened so crazy. So Ty, there's a guy named Ty. He had when I first got into the business in real estate, I was working at Keller Williams in Beverly Hills. That just wasn't my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I'm not a West Side guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a West Side guy. You know what I'm saying? So at the same, I'm looking on this 310 agent. That's Ty's handle on Instagram. I just got 310 agents hitting me up on Instagram all the time, and we're following each other back and forth. And I see he's a realtor. He just started his own little boutique firm, had some swag to him. So I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? So I go meet with him.
Yeah.
I meet with Ty. He just started his firm up, Agents of LA. Shout out to Ty. You know what I mean? He started up his firm, Agents of LA. So I make the switch. And mind you, so Ty is really tapped into the entertainment industry. A lot of his clients are in the entertainment world. So our office was actually at Ray J's dad's studios in Woodland Hills. So you know, you pulling up, you know what I mean? You pulling up, it's, you know, Ray J, his dad's in there, everybody, you know, so about a week and a half into working with him, he comes up to me, he was like, hey, look, I got this idea for this TV show. I want to call it Agents of LA. He was like, you know, with your background, you know, you're an 8-year vet, you know, you're a good looking guy, you're single, you're getting into real estate. I think, you know what I mean? I was like, you recruited me, you know what I mean? I'm like a week, you know what I mean? A week and a half, and he comes to me with this idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So we started doing little sizzle reels and things, trying to put some tape together.
Okay.
And then, you know, that starts going. Next thing you know, we're casting people. I'm like, oh,
it's moving.
Like, this is real. You know what I mean? Like, this is really happening. And that's when, you know, Taylor and all those, you know, they started. That's when I made Taylor and Sarah and all these people. And it's like, okay, cool. And it just started growing legs. So it was like, I wasn't casted for it. It was kind of like, I'm literally from the beginning stages of it all. It was like, and I was kind of what gave it legs because of my background. You know what I mean? It was like, okay. And then we start casting people. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we got a pilot for VH1. And I'm sitting there the entire time like, so is this happening? You know what I mean? Like, this is real life, you know? Because I had left and went to a different brokerage because some other things were popping off. I was so new to the business at that time.
Yep.
You know, I was trying, you know, with Agents of LA being so small, we didn't have a lot of market share, you know what I mean? And in the middle of that, so I left to go to Keller Williams and Woodlake.
Okay.
No, Westlake Village. Why did I say Woodlake? Westlake Village. Woodlake, that's where I grew up. Anyway, Westlake Village. And, but again, the show was still going on. And, you know, next thing you know, it just continued to grow legs. And it became a thing, bro.
Yeah, it was a thing.
So it just kind of fell. It just something I kind of fell into, man.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me a little bit about you personally on the show, right? So unfortunately, when it comes to reality TV, when it comes to Black reality TV, you got a negative connotation, right? You were Mr. Cool, Calm and Collected on the show, right? So tell me, like, what are you thinking when you're on the show? How are you holding yourself? How did you deal with it all personally?
No, it was just for me personally. It was like, again, I didn't do the show to be a reality TV star. You know what I mean? I did it for the opportunity, you know what I mean? Seeing these other reality TV SKUs and that for realtors, like $1 million listings, et cetera, and seeing how it elevated those careers of those people on those shows.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it from that perspective. Like, okay, this is gonna elevate business and it's gonna open up more opportunities outside of that. Maybe, you know, public speaking, X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean, opportunities. So that's what I'm thinking going into this. So the whole storyline aspect of it all, I'm like, yo, if I don't have a storyline, I'm just not here. It's not that deep for me. So like everything going on that show from my end, it was actually what was going on in my life at that time. Like, like I'm pulling up you know what I mean? Like figuring, you know, I'm season 1, I'm actually dating Kat. That was my girlfriend. And, you know, the whole Samantha angle of it all was going on. It was like, there was so much tension in that, you're right? Because Kat was on the show. Yeah. And she, you know what I mean? I'm on the show now with an ex of mine. Kat was on the show with an ex of hers. Yeah. So there was a lot because, you know, in her show, there was something, she rekindled something with her ex. So in her head, you know, that's what she's thinking. You know what I mean? No, I know how this goes. They're going to make you do this, that, and the third. I'm like, no. Like, like you did that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you did on your show. Like, that's not going on. So I'm dealing with that every day. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like, Kat, like, chill. You know what I'm saying? But so that storyline, that's kind of how that storyline took place. But, you know, my clients on there, you know, like Joe Hayden, you know, Roger Saffold, guys like that. Those are guys I actually sold houses to. Like the house that we're in with Joe, I actually sold him that house. You know what I'm saying?
Real. It wasn't just reality TV. It was real.
Like, this is real stuff. Like these are my real clients. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm not here for the fake storyline X, Y, and Z. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, if I don't have a storyline, I'm just not here. You know what I'm saying? It's just no big deal for me. So I was able to go with it. And plus, I've been on TV, you know what I'm saying? I play football and, you know, I'm used to being in front of cameras and people asking questions. So that wasn't different for me, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to not look at those things and just be in the moment. So there was some interesting times.
No. In terms of just real estate in general, right? You talked about growing up in LA, wanting to come back here. Why real estate? You could have did a lot of different businesses, pulling your NFL vet card, right? Why real estate?
It was because it was hard, you know what I mean? Like, I always
why go towards hard stuff?
Yeah, like I always gravitate towards things that are hard, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but I like that though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cause I want all the smoke. I'm with all the smoke. You feel me? So I'm like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I chose to do this. You know what I mean? So if I chose to do this, then I'm gonna see it through. And again, this is one of the toughest markets in the country. But you know what I mean? But coming from the NFL world, you know. You go to other markets and you sell a house for $350,000. Some of your commission check breaks down to like, you know, $6,000 or something, which is a great amount of money. But I'm like, I'm trying to sell these $1 million houses out here, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's where I see myself. And it was sort of blessing, which is, like I said, how God works in mysterious ways. I'm getting ready to retire. I end up in Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland for about 4 or 5 months. My very first client in real estate is Joe Hayden, who I met in Cleveland. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, like, and not only that, he bought a $4.3 million house. So my first sale out the gate, 7 months into bin, is $4.3 million. Yeah. And
that's a little bigger than $6,000 commission.
You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, thank you. You know what I mean? But for Joe and Sarah, you know what I mean, his wife, I appreciate them to death because they didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially when I was that new to the business. When Joe called me, he called me on like the second day of training camp that year. So I'm in my head, I'm like, damn, what's up? I'm thinking he got hurt or something. I'm like, how did you get hurt day 2? Like, why are you even practicing right now type shit? You know what I mean? Like, what are you calling me for? What happened? Like, he's like, yo, Zach, you know me and Moo, we're thinking about moving to LA, man. I was like, oh, this is one of those calls.
Yeah. Different business calls.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, you want to shit, let's go. So when the season ended, that gave me time to prepare and understand what they wanted to do. You know what I mean? So, but LA was just a market. And like I said, my brother live out here. Gotcha. My niece and nephew was out here, and I was getting tired of watching them grow up on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me go back home. Let me start this career up in LA and you know, see what happens. So that's how I came out here, man.
Yeah, so you talk about going to do real estate because it was hard. Is there any skills, tricks, tips that you've learned being a professional athlete that you apply now as a business person, right? Whether it's real estate, whether it's the sports agency, which we're gonna get to in a minute. Like, what are some of the things that you took as a pro athlete that you apply now professionally?
Everything. Like the work ethic you have to embody to be a professional athlete, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So like the accountability and everything about it, it's a lot. So, if you can do that for, 8 years, like it would have been dumb for me to go to retire and just sit down with all this knowledge, you know what I mean? Because I'm present, bro. Like I stay present in the moment of my environment and what's going on. I pay attention, you know what I'm saying? So I have all this, I know I got millionaires in my phone, you know what I mean? From players that I play with, general manager, I know a lot of people, the network, the connections, whatever the case may be. Not necessarily in LA though, you know what I'm saying? But I know I have that, right? And I have the work ethic, you know what I'm saying, to balance all that. And when I got into real estate, I pretty much kept it the same. I was blessed, bro. I got into a profession that was kind of similar as far as work days as to what I did prior. In real estate, open houses are on Sunday.
Okay.
Game day is Sunday. So that's game day for me still.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm in an open house, this is a game. Like it's 3 hours, you know what I mean? This is a fucking game, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm in game mode. You walk through the door, I know I'm gonna give you this is game, you know what I mean? I take this serious, you feel me?
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, you know what I mean? That's like the preparation mode, you know what I mean? So you're networking in this business, but you know what I mean? But in football, it's practice.
Yeah.
Tuesday's a day off, so I try to give myself a day off, you know what I mean? So I just kept it the same. So it wasn't something like it was something that was new. Yeah. Like, damn, I don't know what I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just do what I know and apply it to this. Yeah. And keep it going, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I switched up much in that aspect. It was just applying what I've learned in the football into a different scenario because it's all synonymous, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it, it just kept going with it. It just kept going. It just kept pushing and pushing and grinding and grinding. And I feel like that's where a lot of guys go south, you know what I mean? Because when you retire from football, I did football for 16 years straight. That's what I knew. Yeah. When you retire from that and you get into something different, you have to put just as much work into that as I did into this. But I know how much work it took for me to get to the professional level there. So do I really want to do that over here too? Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean? For me, it's yes. I don't care. You feel me? Yeah. But that's where I feel like a lot of guys, because it's like, they get comfortable or don't want to do it, or I'm like, nah, bro, shit, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? So I just applied it.
So you've had 2 pretty major career transitions already. You're still a young man, right? Mm-hmm. So you're talking about going from professional athlete to real estate. Now you're going from real estate to sports agency, right? Tell me, what advice do you have for the rest of us, right, on making them transitions? You've had 2 already. Mm-hmm. Some of people still trying to get that first one done, right? Yeah. Talk about some tips for transitioning.
Just stay diligent, man, and put in the work. No matter what you're going through, there's ups and downs. Like, it hasn't been easy, you know what I'm saying? There was been a lot of learning to do, you know what I mean? I retired, 8, 9 years ago now, you know what I'm saying? And it hasn't been like all peaches and cream the entire way. It's just, you just got to understand, there's going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. There's going to be high moments, low moments, and mediocre, I'm just like, damn, and moments where you're going to be sitting there like, why the hell am I doing this? You know what I mean? But then there's going to be something that happens that'll like, this is why. Okay, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and also for me, I'm blessed in the fact that when I retired, I don't have any kids, I don't have any dependents, things. So I was able to go at my pace, you know what I'm saying, without having to worry about, I have to, divvy out child support here, do all these extra things. Yeah. I was able to go at my pace, you know what I mean, and learn and grow through those struggles, and without having to worry about all the extra things that can make you make decisions out of haste, you know what I mean? Damn, I got to do this, you know what I mean? It's like, shit, okay, bro, relax. How did we get here? And what do you have to do? So I was able to do that, you know what I mean? And, but it's just, you have to do it. It's just understanding, and apply. Like it's like, I know guys that I played with, you know what I mean? That I grew up with and played, football with, and, in the NFL that kind of retire and just fall. I'm like, bro, like, how could you do this for so long? Yeah. And retire and just have no gum and just don't do anything. Like, like, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just did one of the hardest things in the world that anybody could do. And then when you finish it, you don't apply that to anything else. Like, and what was the point? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of how I think. And so it was, it was a journey. It's going to be a journey for anybody. Yep. I'm blessed. I work for my former agent. like he's who I work for now. He called me randomly one day. And we'll probably get, but yeah, no, it's been interesting, but it just keep going.
I'll say let's jump into that though. Yeah. What's next for you? Obviously, I know we talked a little bit about the sports agency route, but talk to me a little bit about what's next for you.
Yeah, just now we're in the sports agency world, and it's kind of, it's like walking in your purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now I'm finally being able to walk in that purpose and be able to pay it forward because of all these things that I've mentioned that we've talked about that I've been able to do since playing football. Being able to pay that forward to the next generation, you know what I'm saying, of guys coming into the, the football space. And now it's so much different than when I got in, you know what I mean? And 2007, when you're drafted, we didn't have all these platforms where you could make money outside of football. You know what I mean? It was just, you play football in the off season, you just chilled. Yeah. But now, you can do, you can have a podcast or a YouTube platform. You have so many different avenues.
NIL, before you even get to the league.
You have so many different areas to brand yourself to where it's, outside of football for people to be successful, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to utilize that and be able to preach that. And then also just knowing that I've been through every facet of the league. You know what I mean? I'm a 7th round draft pick who was a starter by year 2. I was playing at a Pro Bowl level, broke my leg, then I had to rehab and then come back and, and then was a starter again the next year after breaking a leg. And so I've been, then after 4 years, my last 4 years, it was like I was a journeyman, bro. You know what I mean? I played on like 4 different teams. So I'm like, shit, okay, So being able to manage emotions, you know what I'm saying, of what you're gonna deal with on an everyday basis. Why is this coach saying this to me? Or, man, this happened, you know what I mean? So to be able to have those conversations with guys and be like, okay, this is probably what's going on, this, that, and the third, and be real and be genuine from a first-hand point of view, not a second-hand perspective, but from a first-hand perspective of like, I did this. Mm-hmm. I understand what you're going through. I feel your emotions. Let's relax a little bit. And then plus, a lot of the guys that I played with are now coaches or, are in front office positions or, D'Amico Ryan. Head coach, got hired. I just saw Jonathan Gannon, just the head coach that got hired, head coach of Arizona. I was intending a lot of these, Rob Saleh, Kyle Shanahan, McDaniels, a lot of these head coaches were in Houston with me or were on my journey along the way. So having the relationships with these guys, we could just pick up the phone, but yo, what's good? What's going on? So I'm blessed, man. It's like feeling like everything's kind of aligning, and I'm looking forward to it.
Got you. So the name of this podcast is The Secrets to Silent Success, right? Yeah. So you talked about, going from starting high school to community college to college, having a heck of a senior year, playing at a Pro Bowl level, being on reality TV, selling houses in one of the hardest markets in the country, to now transition to a sports agent. What is Zac Diles' secret to success?
Man, just hard work, bro. You know what I mean? Just hard work and just be accountable. Be just accountability. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like a lot of people just aren't accountable to what they do and their actions and how they got to certain places. And it's like it's okay to be, you know what I mean? Like to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, you have to do better. You know what I mean? Or this is how we got here, this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? And be open to criticism from other people and humble, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna walk around like I'm better than somebody because of what I've done. You know what I mean? Like I'm blessed to have done those things. You know what I mean? It's opened up a lot of avenues and a lot of doors for me, but I'm gonna treat the person who's cleaning the elevator the same way I would treat, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, what's going on? How you live? I'm never going to downplay somebody because of what they do and who they are. You know what I'm saying? Or because of what I've done. Like, it could be taken, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I'm appreciative, bro. And just grind and just work. And, I have a mom and a brother that set a really good foundation for me. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom's got like 3 master's degrees and, my brother's got a master's. Pisses me off because I'm the only one in my family who don't have a master's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I gotta, for now, because that's the one thing my brother got on me right now. And I'm like, damn.
That competitive forever come out. I gotta get that master's. Yeah.
Like, you what? And he just got his about a year or 2 ago. So I'm like, all right, bro, like congratulations.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna come get you, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we're not gonna be 50, 60 years old, but I got a master's, you don't. All right, bro. You better chill out, cause I'm gonna mess around and get 3 of them shits. just cause, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go get a PhD on them.
But like I said, just grind, man, and just one day at a time, you know what I mean? And understanding the flows of, the highs and lows of when you're trying to do something great. There's going to be times where you're going to be like, damn, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did I get here, or why am I doing this? They're going to happen. It's inevitable. And just to be able to, you know, get to those moments and learn from it. Like, I feel like when I get to those moments, that lets me know that I'm growing, because now I've hit something I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I don't know what this is. Like, shit, like, okay, that means I'm growing though, because I hit something I don't know.
Yeah.
So let me figure this out. And if it sets you back 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 2 weeks, who cares? You know what I mean? Some people will just, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my lumps. You know what I mean? All right, cool. It's like, all right, you got me for 3 months, or, you know, that set me back for 3 months. Cool. Like, but now with the knowledge that I got out from learning that, it just made me a lot stronger going forward. So whatever, I'll take that. You know what I mean? So it's just a mind frame, just a mentality of just wanting to be great.
Cool. We're gonna leave it there, brother. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
Till next time, man.
No doubt. I like those. I like that little ring, man.
Appreciate So I appreciate you all for watching this episode of Secrets to Silent Success. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.